News and updates. We've got some new aircraft, a couple new features, and some scenery to talk about today. So stick around to find out what it's all about. Alright, so first up on the list, congratulations to Microsoft Flight Simulator celebrates 10 million pilots. 10 million pilots shortly after hitting the 40th anniversary, 500 million flights, 40 billion miles flown, and an equivalent distance of 10 million trips, or excuse me, 200 round trips from the Earth to the Sun, or 10 million trips around the Earth. So, that's amazing. That's amazing it's been around this long. It's amazing that we've seen this many flights. Great job to Microsoft. I got to give credit where credit is due. They've certainly made a name for themselves in the industry and are certainly doing the same thing with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And I look forward to being a part of it for the next 40 years. I did a video on this one yesterday. Make sure that you guys check it out. That is the PZL-104 Wilga. This aircraft was first created or built in 1962 and was continuing to see production all the way through 2006 when production finally ended. Now, the Wilga from GotFriends is an absolutely enjoyable aircraft with a ton of features and just it was a wonderful experience overall. The video that I had in yesterday, I did have some technical difficulties. It had nothing to do with the aircraft. Everything was external to the simulator that was causing me problems. We actually just got done with a full Windows install today, reinstalling absolutely everything from the ground up. So hopefully we've ironed some things out. But guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, you got multiple different variants of this aircraft that come with the package. Everything from amphibious to the bush with the big Tundra tires on it. You can go camping with it, hint, hint, or click, technically, whatever you want to say. And it also comes with Forwood Farm, which is a scenery that is completely free, just comes as a bonus pack with the aircraft. The details and the texture work to the aircraft that was absolutely spot on. The sound was beautiful. They just did a wonderful job with this aircraft, guys. I truly enjoy it. It is a great bush plane. It has a ton of features that just make it a little bit cooler to do once you land. You can pick this up on GotFriends' website for $35 US. Again, tons of different variants, tons of features, beautifully textured, beautifully flown. They did a great job. You know, the GotFriends team just keeps turning the tables in my personal opinion. I have loved every single aircraft they have put out. It's same thing with GotGravel and the rest of the teams. Even their individual planes have been just spot on, and it's really awesome to see what this team has been doing ever since they came together. And I hope they continue to strive down the road of excellence, in my opinion, for flight simulation. Definitely check it out, guys. If you have any doubts, watch the video previously that I did yesterday. I will be doing another one, hopefully showing the aircraft in its full richness without having the technical issues I was having outside the sim, so keep an eye out for that as well. IniBuilds has released their version of the P40 Warhawk. Now, we talked about this previously when this was first announced a few weeks back. Now, there's already one variant of the P40 available to Microsoft Flight Simulator from Big Radials. Now, the cool thing about them using the P40F from IniBuilds is that it is containing the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine instead of the Allison that was in the previous versions. The Merlin Rolls-Royce was the same engine that was actually put into the P51 Mustang and what made it the hot rod that it is today. Again, also replacing the Allison. And so you're going to get a lot of performance out of this particular variant of the aircraft. Now, my only thing is that I stated before, one of the things that does catch me off guard here, or that I say I don't like, is that they are doing the patch, two different patches. Now, that's not my issue. The issue is that in the second patch, it clearly states that they will also include an update for ground handling to simulate the characteristics of a tail dragger a little bit better. I personally feel like when you already have competition of the same aircraft, that probably should have been a priority, but at the same token, I'm not a developer, I'm not a project lead, so I don't want to overstate. It was just something that caught my eye. Now, one of the things that I really did like is they did draw out the patches. So shortly after release, we should see a patch 1, which will fix any bugs or issues that have been found since the initial release, basically by us, the simmers. Okay, and then phase 2 will include an EFB with also basic route planning, meaning that you can basically fly from destination to, or from departure to destination point, direct flights, no advanced flight routing or anything like that. And then patch 2 will also include fuel system improvements with the addition of drop tanks and then a better fuel handling mechanism. So they are doing a lot with it, and they're giving us a lot. So I'll give them that as well. Now, make sure that you guys also click on the link in the description below that will take you to this wonderful FS Elite website, which I also recommend that you guys sign up for if you haven't. That's how I keep up on the latest of news. They do a fantastic job of keeping us up to date, and I really appreciate FS Elite's hard work in making this information available to us so readily. But on this page, there is a very awesome YouTube video that does display the aircraft in action. Now, one of the things that I will say is comparison to the big radials version, which I absolutely love. I own it. I love it. It's a great version of rendition of the P-40 from somebody who's never flown a P-40. But with that being said, £14.99 is quite a bit cheaper than, if memory serves, the big radials version. So if maybe the big radials version is a little bit out of your budget, or you're looking for the features, that are included with the IniBuilds, this is certainly a very reasonable price for this aircraft. So if you've got some buddies and friends, or just have that itch to fly a World War II aircraft that was obviously very iconic, especially at the start of the war, given the fact in 1941, obviously it made a true shine, as it was the aircraft that was defending Pearl Harbor that we all were about. From doesn't matter which version of the movies that you watch, you'll see the P-40 defending the island against island of Hawaii against the Japanese Zeros and attack aircraft. So definitely iconic, definitely a fun aircraft. My only issue with it is we also have another developer that is making the P-40N, which I believe was the final version of this particular aircraft, if memory serves. So you're going to have 3 different variants to choose from. So if you're someone who wants all 3, absolutely go for it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the aircraft and how you feel about it. And then, let us know what happens as the other variants come out. JustFlight has released a video previewing the F-28, the Fokker 28 Fellowship. Now, the preview video, I again recommend that you guys click on the link in the description below. Brings you to this site. Watch the video. It is very, very well done and sporting quite a bit of very awesome features. Now, just a preview of the aircraft showing the cabin, the cockpit, inside and outside. You guys can see all the really awesome details just from this one screenshot here of all the really cool stuff that's on its way to the simulator when the Fokker 28 lands. So super excited for this aircraft. It's definitely something a little bit different, and I'm definitely looking forward to giving this one a shot. I have always been impressed with JustFlight's releases, so pretty much anything that JustFlight puts out, I end up purchasing because they just have that track record. Boris Audio Works releases the Cirrus SR-22 sound set for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this is a sound improvement package for the SR-22. The sounds improvement has taken the developer over 9 months to put together and uses more than 50 hours of high fidelity recordings taken utilizing an industry standard microphone, and then obviously from the real aircraft, guys. So the sound set features, among others, redone interior and exterior sounds, avionics, ventilation, fan sounds, ground rolls, wind, cabin, air vent whistles, etc. So this can be picked up for €15 on the sim market. So if the Cirrus SR-22 is an aircraft that you enjoy flying and you want to further enhance your immersion, this is definitely the way to go. I have advocated again and again and again that sound is just as critical to immersion as everything else that we experience in the simulator, whether it be textures, flight modeling, whatever it may be. Sound is crucial, and I think it's even more crucial when you are in VR. Virtual reality can very easily be broken with poor sound. You can be just taken right out of that virtual world. And so anytime that I see sound packages like this, I personally don't fly the SR-22, but if I did, I'd be all over it, because when I do see sound packages like this for aircraft that I like to fly, I grab them immediately, because again, I just can't stress enough, I think sound is just as important as anything else that they do with these. Parallel 42 has offered a color pack for the Cabri G2 helicopter that launched with Sim Update 11 and the 40th anniversary. Now, it comes with a 12 livery package split into 3 categories: color, banded, and designer. And you guys can see a few screenshots here of what the different variant offers. And you can purchase this from Orbix Direct for $5.99. It'll be coming soon to the marketplace for PC or Xbox users. So keep an eye out for that if that's something you guys are interested in grabbing. TDM Scenery Design announces Almeria for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is one of the largest tourist destinations in Spain along the Andalusian coastline. It is on its way. It's not quite out yet, but the airport, which is 3,200 meters long, or a 3,200 meter long runway, which is a very long runway, that's actually quite impressive, is coming to the simulator. Now, they haven't shared a whole lot, but you guys can see actual live footage of the particular airport here on the YouTube link shown below. Now, I have been slowly grabbing an arsenal of European sceneries that eventually we are going to be bringing something to the channel, a series of sort where we're going to do some European discovery. I find myself to be one of those flight simmers who tends to stay close to home, if you catch my drift. Even when I'm flying, within the United States, I find myself staying close to Arizona. It's just one of those things that I need to get out of. And so what I decided to do is to put something together where it forces me outside, and we're going to be using a lot of third-party scenery to do that. And this will definitely be one of them. I was actually just looking at my particular route that I'm putting together for this little project, and Spain is one of the places we will be headed. So, if you guys don't want to good, nice. If you guys do not want to pick it up upon its release, stick around for the channel, and you'll definitely see it showcased at some point early on in the flights. SLH Sim Designs releases Terrence B. Letsum for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Get your shovels ready. A new treasure hunt awaits, according to the article here. Microsoft Flight Simulator Caribbean scenery developer SLH Sim Designs, known for projects including Bermuda's LF Wade Airport. I've actually seen that one. That one's actually a pretty good one. I have not seen the Anguilla's Terrence B. Letsum Airport before, so this is absolutely new to me. SLH Sim Designs releases Terrence B. Letsum for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The Caribbean developer SLH Design, known for projects including Bermuda's LF Wade Airport, that one I'm actually aware of, has released their rendition of Anguilla's Terrence B. Letsum Airport. Now, obviously, the airport is incredibly well done. I'm not going to read through all the different details as far as it does come with it does state that it comes with a beautiful RNAV approach that features visually prescribed tracks to runway 07. It does not have any SID approaches to this particular destination. However, let's get into the good stuff. Okay, the scenery features all the usual goodies as stated here in the article, including 4K PBR textures, accurate 3D representations of the airport's main terminal and tower, and faithfully modeled interiors and custom terraforming and dynamic lighting. Meaning terraforming indicating that even the ground texturing, the ground scenery, the overall flora and fauna has been done by hand, is what that sounds like to me. Going through the screenshots here, it looks like they truly did an absolutely amazing job, truly trying to bring this airport to life. I can appreciate this kind of detail. Again, as far as the interiors go, it's one of those like hit or miss kind of things for me, whether or not I think it's silly or not, but I do like seeing the activity on the outside of it. I don't necessarily care so much for like when the terminals are modeled inside, but I want to be able to see some activity from the outside as we're taxiing, to the terminals, or, taking off from the runways. You can see, cars, things like that. I do appreciate that. I do. So once again, guys, make sure you guys give this one a shot if you were interested in this particular location. That's going to be 15 euros on the sim market. Again, a very beautifully done scenery. And finally, one more for you. MXI Design releases the Duhas Hamad International Airport, home of the FIFA World Cup. So as we are getting closer to the World Cup, you have a nice new scenery to go and fly to simulate your trip down to actually watch the game itself. You can find this on the sim market for $19.99. They've done a wonderful job here. Once again, these developers are really starting to kick tail and turn some names with the features that Microsoft Flight Simulator offers. That almost looks like LAX. That's kind of funny. There's a couple differences. I'm just talking about the runway layout, but then having the coastline, I get it. No, it doesn't. I'll retract that. It just caught me off guard for a second. But again, beautifully done work here. Great job on the terminals. I love how big they are. Look at that. They're massive. 3-gate terminals for dual-side aircraft. Gosh, I love seeing those big ones. I love seeing them. I don't know why. I just do. I think they're cool. But again, absolutely wonderful work done on these particular airfields, and that's why I select them. I always take a look at the screenshots first, guys, before. That's why I don't showcase every single piece of scenery. Some of it it's just by keeping the video limited, and others it's just like, I'll let you guys figure it out. But again, this is another one where you can tell a lot of work was done on over a very vast amount of space here that had to be created. These bigger airports, they have to be a drag to make. They have to be just absolutely tough as heck to make, man. So anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Stay tuned for a ton of videos. We have some new products that we're going to be reviewing very, very soon here. We've got some awesome stuff coming out next week that you guys are going to want to pay attention to. This week, we've got some hardware we're going to be taking a look at, as well as obviously new aircraft and some more flight. To anyone waiting on the G1000 NXI guide that I have available on Patreon, or soon to be available on Patreon, we were just waiting on the AAU1 update from Working Title. I'm going through the last finishing touches on it to make sure that it actually still matches and that enough hasn't changed significantly where the guide would be ineffective. So just stick around with me for a little bit longer. We'll have that out here in the next day or so. But as always, guys, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.